Mentioned, we're following this breaking news regarding the case in Glass and the deputy Andrew Buen, former deputy. He has been found guilty of reckless endangerment in the death of Christian Glass. The jury did not reach a verdict on 2 other counts, including the most serious charge, second-degree murder.
This has been a story that our reporter Steve Stager has been covering for a long time, and he joins us now live. You were in the courtroom as the verdict was read. Steve, bring us up to speed.
Yeah, Tom, it was a relatively not surprising moment in the courtroom, knowing that just about an hour before that, the jury had been ordered by the judge to go back into deliberations to try to reach a unanimous verdict. It's clear that the jury was not able to reach a verdict on 2 of the counts, second-degree murder and official misconduct. They did convict Andrew Buen of reckless endangerment. It's a Class 2 misdemeanor, punishable by up to 6 months in jail, $750 fine. The court did indicate that now this case will continue on Monday. They'll meet with both sides to try to determine what to do on those 2 charges that the jury could not reach a verdict for. It was an emotional moment in the courtroom, especially for the jury. We noticed several members of the jury with tears in their eyes looking at the Glass family as they walked out after reaching their verdict and informing the court of their verdict. But Andrew Buen convicted of reckless endangerment, but the jury is still out, so to speak, on those other 2 charges. This case this roots back to a shooting in June of 2022 when Christian Glass called 911 after he got his SUV, stuck on a rock in Silver Plume. We know that basically from that point, the Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office had released a statement, saying a very short statement about what happened that night, and it took several months for the Glass family attorneys to get their hands on body camera video for the public to really find out what happened during that call, to know that it indeed was a call for help and that Christian Glass was shot and killed by Andrew Buen. Then a grand jury up here in Clear Creek County indicted Buen a few months later. And here we are, this case still not resolved. Again, the jury coming back with a verdict, reckless endangerment, guilty of reckless endangerment, but still hung on those other 2 charges. So it remains to be seen if the prosecution wants to try to continue and retry those 2 counts, guys.
Boy, to leave that all in the balance, there's still so much, but one verdict is in. Steve, this has been a case that's grabbed a lot of people. We'll continue to follow it, and there's still more to come.
Several officers involved.
Yeah, still much more to come.
Yeah,
Steve,
and guys, we're waiting to see if people will speak outside of court. We're waiting to see if the 5th Judicial District DA, Heidi McCollum, will give a statement. Obviously, this was kind of a surprise to them, as it would be for anyone, knowing that the jury wasn't able to reach a verdict. There's the DA right now. DA, any interest in speaking with us? Briefly? This is the 5th Judicial District DA, Heidi McCollum.
Please step in front of the microphone over there.
Right here. Here, I can pull them out.
I really don't. Okay.
Does that help?
Sure.
Just your reaction to the jury not being able to reach a verdict on 2 of the counts, and what do you intend to do moving forward?
Sure. I first want to just state my gratitude to the jury. I appreciate their effort, their dedication in trying to come to a verdict on all 3 counts. We haven't made a decision yet as to whether or not we will continue to move forward on the 2 counts where the jury was hung. We will make that decision moving forward, and we will let everyone know. I appreciate the town's support and commitment in welcoming Sally and Simon throughout the entire trial. And I appreciate all of your time and reporting on this case, and it is an important case, so thank you all.
Is this healing for Clear Creek County, or do you not heal because it just seems so in limbo now?
I think you answered the question with your question. It is in limbo.
Can you elaborate on that, being in limbo? Can you elaborate for the public, explain that?
Well, sure. The tenor of law enforcement in Clear Creek County has been tainted with this case, and I don't know how long it's going to take for that taint to be lifted. It could be a year, it could be a decade. And so until that happens, until Clear Creek County can truly trust its law enforcement officers, there is that limbo that hasn't been lifted, and I feel for my community. I wish this never happened in my community, and it did, and now we have to move forward.
Can you talk us through the reckless endangerment count and what the possible sentence for that might be?
We're going to actually discuss that on Monday with the judge, with the court. Okay.
Can you give us your name and how to spell it?
Sure. It's Heidi McCollum, McCollum.
Again, that's the district attorney, Steve Steger, able to grab her live as that one verdict is in. Guilty of reckless endangerment for Andrew Buen, but still hung as far as the second-degree murder charge, as well as a charge of official misconduct. So still no decision as to what this means as far as those other two charges going forward. You could tell the assistant DA not happy with where things stand, but not yet committal as far as where we go from here.
And it's telling that Steve mentioned that the jury was also emotional when they shared this with the judge, because this has been a really difficult case, watching that body camera video and hearing the stories about what happened that night and the decisions made, and a lot of regret and a lot of things to process for them.
We'll have more from Steve coming up at 5 o'clock. We'll take a break and be right back.